So I know I haven't really uploaded on my gaming channel in a while. I know I just been hella busy putting out content for my main channel. But there is one thing I did want to talk about that did grab my attention. It's the whole discussion about modern gaming being trash now.
Gaming nowadays sucks, and there's no more good games to play. Saying that is probably the easiest way to trigger most modern gamers. However, if y'all actually took the time to listen to them people who say that, I promise you realize that they kind of have a point. Cause see, most people who say that come from an era where you didn't have to, quote, expand your horizons to find a good game. Cause back in the day, if you wanted to find a good game, it was easy. Here you go, here you go. No sports, that's fine. Here you go. Want a good detective noir story? There you go. Wanted a shooting game with some over-the-top gunfights? Here you go. Want GTA but not GTA? Here you go. Need a racing game? Here you go. No microtransactions, by the way. This. Even this. I mean, goddamn, bro, I can keep going.
Then y'all say the only people who say that are people who only play 2K and Madden.
You do realize that those same people are the people who had more than 2K and Madden back in the day? Let me walk you through it real quick. See, back then, we didn't need to just rely on Madden for our football fix. We could go NFL Street. We could go ESPN 2K5. We could go NFL Blitz. We could go NFL Game Day. Hell, fuck it. Let's do it. NFL Quarterback Club. Bro, we didn't need just 2K. We had NBA Street. We had NBA Jam. Man, I bet half of y'all ain't even heard of NBA Shootout. ESPN Basketball. NBA Inside Drive. The GOAT of them all, NBA Live. We had variety back then. We had options, and those games came complete. They didn't come with no microtransactions. Y'all remember when this dropped? Yeah, this shit wouldn't have happened back then. Stop getting upset with people when they say that there ain't no more good games left when you got games like this that come out and it take them 2 fucking years to fix the shit. Because when this dropped, it was finished. It was complete. Wasn't no goddamn patch. Oh yeah, y'all remember this? Midnight releases? Ain't no more of that shit. This was a vital part of gaming culture when there was games that was worth standing outside all goddamn night for. Oh yeah, y'all remember this? Probably not. Couch co-op. The fuck happened here? Another very vital part of gaming culture that was swiped away from us because of corporate greed. Oh no, we don't want 4 of y'all sharing one console. We want all 4 of y'all to buy your own console and just play online like a bunch of fucking dweebs. Like damn bro, whatever happened to family fun games like Guitar Hero and the Rock Band series? Everybody in the living room stressed out mashing the buttons when this motherfucker trying to beat that one song. I don't think y'all realize that when y'all tell people that they have to expand their horizons to find good games, that you're literally proving their point. Because if gaming was currently as good as it always has been according to y'all, wouldn't nobody have to dig for shit. It would just be readily available in their face. Oh yeah, one last thing. When people say there ain't no more good games left, please stop suggesting these super niche ass games that only appeal to one type of person. You know damn well everybody ain't into turn-based RPGs. Cut the shit. So do I think gaming is dead? No. But is it as good as it used to be? Fuck no.
The only part that I agree with him is the options, because nowadays you have a lot of publishers and developers, they're too scared to take risk anymore. And I don't mean in the sense of being edgy and trying to have social commentary that would not be feasible today for obvious reasons, because of, you know, sponsors and advertisers and all that. Especially nowadays when you have publishers that have these overinflated budgets like Square Enix. They'll have this insane budget, like let's say $300 million, but they expected the game to make them $300 million. Not to say that the game can't be good. It can be, but it don't have to be a $300 million budgeted game. It could be a budgeted game of like, let's say 75 million, or let's say 90 million. If you want to go extra, splurge 100 million. And hell, you don't really have to do that much as far as it goes with a marketing push, because you have YouTube. Like a lot of these developers have YouTube channels nowadays that they can just go live. They ain't got to pay marketing costs to so many different people. They ain't got to pay a fee to PlayStation put on their channel. They ain't got to pay a fee to appear at Summer Games Fest. They don't have to show up at the Xbox Game Showcase. They can just easily go to Twitter and just market the hell out that shit and get it a nice old push. Now I understand if you're like a super niche game, then you won't like the biggest eyes that's gonna be able to watch you, and maybe it would benefit for you being at places like Xbox Game Showcase. It really just depends on if it's an indie dev or if they're backed by a big publisher. And if they're backed by a big publisher, I think the onus would be on the publisher to have their own little shindig live stream showcasing the game and the gameplay and all the other stuff. But there's one thing he didn't really mention about modern gaming, and it's that a lot of it now is just led with CG, and you don't see gameplay for another year or two. That would be my biggest gripe with modern gaming. And I get it, they put those CGI announce trailers together just for the investors. But my thing about it, if you're going to do it just for the investors, just send it to them in some type of closed conference call and they can see it. They ain't gotta, you know, unless they do some type of public trading at the stock market. But even then, I think if it's for their eyes only, it should be for their eyes only until we get some gameplay. Now, I want somebody to help me out with the definition of modern gaming. When does modern gaming start? Does it start at 2020? Because if it starts in 2020, we had a lot of games that come out in 2020. Last was Part 2, even though I know people kind of divided on that. Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Metroid Dread, Guardians of the Galaxy, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Stray, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, even though I know he posted that in the video, Black Myth Wukong, Astro Bot, Stellar Blade, and one of the best games I played this year, Doom the Dark Ages. And I understand it has its issues on PC. The PC community are kind of up in arms right now about that game, but I've been enjoying myself with that game thoroughly. My only critique about that game is the game speed at its default is really slower compared to the other games. But if you crank it up in the settings menu to at least like 120, you ought to be fine. If you play any Doom game at the game speed of higher than 120, you're a crackhead and you need to be locked away. And not to mention, there's games that's supposed to come out later on this year that people are gonna be looking forward to. And even in the future for next year, GTA 6 is supposed to come out next year. With all these games that I've listed within the past 5 years to come out, to say modern gaming sucks and you got all these other games out in the wild right now, I don't really see how gaming sucks nowadays. Sure, do you have bad games to come out and do you have broken promises and broken games like Dragon Age the Veilguard that disappoints, or Cyberpunk 2077 that was a broken mess at launch? Even though, albeit, if you can see past the bugs and the glitches, there was a pretty good game there. It's a great RPG, great story, all that. I would even highly recommend to go play the Phantom Liberty DLC, which shockingly enough, I didn't experience a single technical issue with that game. And I say game because it felt like its own game. It didn't feel like I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, the base one. Even though granted there was the whole yellow chair gate and, you know, reviewers not being allowed to, you know, showcase their own gameplay, which was a big red flag in of itself. And I feel like a lot of reviewers should have took a stand and say, no, if I can't record my own gameplay, I don't want the yellow chair. Like, I can just paint a chair yellow. You know what I'm saying? Or get like a Cyberpunk yellow cover over my current chair and call it a day. And I understand there's other things too, microtransactions and stuff like that. But in terms of microtransactions, you ain't got nobody to blame but the people who buy them. If people stop buying them, then guess what? There ain't going to be any microtransactions in the game. Oh, and besides, we got the college football games back. And I know some people may not care about college football, but that's a franchise that people love. Hell, it sold out the wazoo last year. They're about to come out with another one next month. And I understand people want the EA Madden exclusivity license to end, but y'all said the same thing about Star Wars. Remember when people begged EA to end that partnership? They ended that partnership when, like, what was it, before COVID, if I'm not mistaken? And ever since then, how many non-EA Star Wars games have we got? One, and that was the mid itself, Star Wars Outlaws. Outside of that, what have we got? We got a remake for KOTOR that's been in development limbo, if not vaporware canceled, with no hopes of seeing the light of day. Y'all wanted that exclusivity to end, but we have no games coming out for it. Now, granted, of course, that's something that may take time and patience. Hopefully that one of these other studios that is at PlayStation, or even one of the other studios at Xbox or whoever in between, can make up a brand new Star Wars game that people want to get immersed in. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say this: if and when that licensing exclusivity does end one day, don't expect a NFL 2K26 or 27 anytime soon. Like, they're gonna really take their time crafting games like that. And you may see goofier, like arcadey style NFL games make a comeback. Like, you may have a Fall Guys twist on Madden, you never know. And I'm just spitballing when I say that, but you get the idea. But those games are gonna take time to cook. Whether if it's a new Star Wars game, whether if it's a brand new Madden game that's outside the EA wheelhouse, it's not going to happen overnight. And I know I'm going on a little bit of a side quest here, But if people feel like this about the Madden exclusivity, then eventually they're gonna feel like that when it comes to the college exclusivity. Maybe not now, but at some point. But as long as EA keeps delivering with the college football games like they did last year, and hopefully next month with 26, then nobody's gonna demand the exclusivity to be over and done with. But with that being said, this has been a very long yap session. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video, whenever that is.